Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to Klondike After Hours, your source for all the weekly Club Penguin Army news. I'm your host, Edu14463, and this week we saw major revelations in the Army scene. So, let us not waste any time and get straight to the news. Starting off this week on November 5, we saw a dynamic development in diplomacy, with the destruction of the alliance between the Templars and the Romans. Leader Bora Penguins noted that there was tensions between Romans and TCP troops, whilst his fellow Grand Prior Zaz stated in an interview the main reason for the alliance ending was it being completely useless. Romans leader Z Nation echoed the sentiment, remarking the armies didn't really help each other. Moving on, we saw a long-time army veteran still in the position of great power. Lydia is one of the most well-known community members, infamous for her time as leader of the underground mafia's army. Following her emergence as a pivotal penguin within the Water Vikings, she was promoted to the position of leader on November 8. With a strong history in armies such as the Doritos, Templars, and the Ice Warriors, we are sure the Vikings will thrive under her command. From one leadership change to several others, this week was rather volatile for the Void troops. Following the recent departure of Army founder Logical on November 8, both Kira and Ant-Man joined him in retirement. The Army were quick to replace them to ensure stability, promoting new hire Judy, as well as a longtime member X-Demon to the position of leader. With both new leaders being well known for their prowess, surely VT will see great success in the coming months. One of the youngest small armies made a shocking return this week, with the departure being just as sudden. The Arctic Vikings revived on November 8, being led by Army founder Kid Boy 12 Edit, alongside Katsura and Shakira. Well, of course not the Shakira Waka Waka but well, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, despite what seemed to be a stable beginning, 4 days later the army closed its doors, following the departure of all three leaders. You heard that right. Again, we see another army close its doors, this time the recently successful Phantom Republic. Revived after a year of rest, the army made a sudden return with a high spike of activity. However, this came to an end on November 7, only hours following the resignation of PRCP Monarch Buko. After hosting their last event on November 3, it was evident the army was losing traction, and as such, the decision was made to close its doors, urging troops to join either the Void troops or Templars. Rounding out this week's news, the Mexican-Irish Republic Army said adios to the community, closing their doors. Following an uneventful lifespan with only 2 events over a 1-week period, leader Keaton announced the army's closure, stating in an interview, quote, "I couldn't be bothered trying to get people to max more than 5.
Then why are you here?
In the same interview, Keaton also assured the army would likely never be returning. And that is all your weekly news from us here at Club Penguin Armies. Stick around to hear a roundup of this week's top 10 delivered by Keaton.
Thank you very much, Edu, for wrapping up this week's news. Kicking off the top 10, we saw the Rebel Penguin Federation. In its second, with a large gap between first, we saw the Army of Club Penguin. At third and fourth, we saw the Aliens and the Void Troops, with the Water Vikings down 3 spots to fifth. In sixth and seventh, we saw the Help Force and the People's Imperial Confederation, with the Dark Warriors in at 8th. At 9th are the Elite Guardians, and 10th, to round out the top 10, are the Templars. Close to the top 10, at spot number 11, we have the Romans, and the Shadow Legionnaires are in at 12th. The new Kanye West Army of CP are in at 13th, and tied for 14th we see the Special Weapons and Tactics and the Marines of Club Penguin. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of Klondike After Hours. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Club Penguin Army's YouTube channel, as it severely helps our algorithm. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.